Hey crafty babes, I reorganized, purged, and dusted. So it's probably a good time to give you a little tour of my updated studio. We can start here with the least used item in my area, my sewing machine. I would really love to use this more, and I do have plans to make some new fun things for the shop, but not right now. Anyway, I'm using this small recollections drawer set where I've got notions and my threads and then 3 drawers of fabric. I also keep my boards here. These are my whiteboards that I use for taking photographs on, so that it's a nice white clean background. Everybody loves this sign, and it's from Hobby Lobby in case you wanted to grab it. This embroidery piece below, I'm going to stop pointing because it's kind of ridiculous. This is actually from a wonderful crafty babe, Mimi Creates, and she sent me this lovely care package, and this is my favorite piece. It's just amazing. This cross stitch piece that says crafty babe with a glue gun, and it's like a vintage tattoo. Let's see what else. I've got so many fun little knickknacks. I'm not sure I want to go over every single thing. It could take forever. But this vintage apron was gifted to me by Gina from Felicity Jane, and it's lovely. I want to wear it all the time, but I feel kind of ridiculous just walking around in the apron. But you know what? I'm going to put it on when I get done with this and I craft, because it has pockets and it makes me feel pretty. So as you can see, I have a whole wall of calyx cubes because being in this really small space means I have to kind of keep everything confined in their places and spaces. So up here I've got some fun knickknacks. This is a pencil sharpener that was used in my house when I was growing up, and a Coke bottle, of course, because I love and collect Coke bottles and Coke things. This little retro bicycle belonged to my mother-in-law. And then, of course, I have an A and an Aaron Rodgers Funko Pop and a microphone and my Hey Crafty Babes light box, Blanche and Blanche. And then in this section here, I just have some of my fun vintage knickknacks, and that vintage sifter actually did belong to my grandma, and the green glass belonged to my mom as well, and I have a couple of pieces from that. Below is some sewing things. This is basically the fat quarters and most used tools. So in here I've got fat quarters that I'm going to be using, well, not just fat quarters, but fat quarters and fabrics that I'm going to be using for some upcoming projects. And then in this basket is my rotary cutter and my scissors, some Velcro, my pin cushion, some batting, some of my sketches, diagrams, and my ruler. These are all of my completed TNs. And then, so these are completed, the ones in the box. And then there's two rows back there actually. And then the ones on the left are blank notebooks. So they're not all Traveler's Notebook size, but they're all similar. And then I do have a couple of Traveler's Notebook covers. This bottom section here stores all of my junk journal stuff. Like all the things that go into the junk journals, including like mailing supplies and shipping supplies, so that all just gets housed in there. This next section is kid stuff. So in that file basket is stuff from school and also like actual adult filing stuff. So it's in there, but it's willy-nilly right now. It does not have a good system. This bin holds like just pouches. Seriously, I have a lot of pouches, and they all come in handy for different things. So I've thought many times about just sticking this in storage, but it turns out that I do need them every now and then, so I just keep them in here. I have these boxes, these organizers from IKEA. And I got 2 of them. I really should have picked up 3, but these are perfect for holding my kits for my design team. So for example, Felicity Jane has their own, so that I can keep all of the 12 by 12 papers here. And then, excuse me, taller things here, some skinnier, taller things, sometimes stickers, and then the smaller sections up front. I can keep the smaller embellishments and cards go in here, and even stamps and little smaller embellishments. And it has this cool handle, so I can easily pick it up and bring it over to my desk. Here are all of my paints, gelatos. This is more just mixed media painting stuff, and I really am in love with these acrylic paints from Target. So if you haven't checked out your local Target art section, oh my gosh, the colors are amazing. Every time I go in there, I'm like, what colors do I need now? And I don't need any colors, honestly. I can make so many different colors from these basic colors, but I know I'll pick up a few, and they're so cheap. They're like $2. Some of them are $3. They're really inexpensive. I have some big brush pens back here, and I really need to figure out what a better system for my gelatos, and I don't do mixed media too often. As long as my paints are available to me, then I usually am just happy with that, because that's really what I use most. And of course, good old Bob. Always with Bob. Love him so. This section here is planner stuff. So I've got some empty planners and some planner supplies. And then I've got a couple of notebooks. I've got the flow book and some additional little mini planners. And then back in the back, you can see way back there. Let me see if I can get some light back there. I have some older planner supplies, and then that box that's sticking up there is a bunch of my old planner pages. So I don't really know if I'm supposed to be keeping them, but I feel like the ones that I decorated and stuff, it would be kind of fun to be able to look back on what those weeks looked like. So they're just hanging out in that box. This is my Ellie Studio bin. So I did the same thing with the Felicity Jane one that I did with this one, and you can keep the large things in the back section, and then I have like stickers, taller things, wider alphas, and like the TN stuff that's taller, and then I do cards here and embellishments in here, and then in here is the secret June kit that you cannot see yet. Down below is this filer. So it has this big section back here for files, which eventually will store the full page digital sheets that I haven't had a chance to cut out yet. Or that I have cut out, but I want them to be categorized, because right now they're categorized in these little CD paper cases, which is fine because they're easy to grab and pull to my desk. But some of them I haven't gone through in a while. So when I am kind of feeling like my supplies are getting a little stale, I'll come through there, grab a bunch of stuff that I want and stick them in my current pile, which I'll show you on my desk soon. This bottom shelf is embroidery. So this bucket is all my embroidery stuff. It's got current projects, different hoops that I'm working on, and my embroidery bin, as well as my embroidery on the go bin that I made that is kind of out of control at the moment, but it's supposed to hold the current threads and the needles and my scissors in a safe place. And then I just have some of the Lightbox letters in here, and then my hot glue gun, and this is just a white tray to be used for when I do like product review videos or look inside videos of like new kits, just so that I can have the product kind of just shown off a little bit better. This is empty binders. So the only things I use in this shelf right now is this binder, because this holds all of my blank 6x8 page protectors. I have another set there. And then there's just some extra, it's really dark in there, just some extra binders. This this binder right here has 8.5 by 11 page protectors, and then this one I don't use anymore, but this was supposed to be monthly, weekly stuff that needed to be put into my big 12 by 12 scrapbook. So I just don't use that system anymore, but it's got a lot of my kids' schoolwork and like birthday cards and stuff like that. So they'll eventually get put into the 2017 albums when I finish those. Here are my current projects. So both of these cubes here are current projects. So this here is all of the photos for my personal album. I keep them month by month in the little sections. I don't actually use this weekly photos box anymore because I store my weekly photos in a different format at this point, but I'm just keeping it there for the moment. This is my fall junk journal that I put together, and then this is my spring junk journal that I was using for my 100-day project with all the lists. So I just filled it up, and then I'm kind of just done with it. This is my journaling Bible that I painted. This is going to be the album for volume 6 of my personal album, which I am getting ready to fill up because I filled up volume number 5 already. And then this is my second 6x8 album for my weekly family album for the year. So this one is spring. The first one is winter, and you'll see that one in a moment. This bin here holds all of my other current projects that are kind of like projects that are a little bit bigger and longer in time because they're kind of ongoing or they're just bigger projects. So I kept them in here so that I just always had an idea of what I was working on. So this here is my faith binder, and this just means that it's going to house some devotionals, illustrated faith devotionals, mainly like illustrated faith retreats that were done, like Brave and Strong, and some stuff from the Reset Girl, kind of just a faith album. This was my illustrated faith creative team retreat memory keeping album. It's halfway done. I can't wait to finish it, and I need to redo the label because it was actually May of 2017. I'm not exactly sure why I wrote May of 2016. Maybe because at the time I started this, I was still working on 2016 in my family album. So I'm not sure. And this is my 100 Days of Bible Promises book. This is my trip to Colorado to see Alyssa in December, and then this is PlannerCon. So I've got all the photos in there, and then I'm doing actually just of an open ring binder for this, or an open ring traveler's notebook. So I just have them kind of together like this. This is the agenda little planner thing that I'm using for my scripture writing, which I'm still filling in. And then here are TNs from the last several months that I kind of hadn't finished, and they're all by month. So at some point I'm going to determine if I'm ever going to put the rest of the months in here, or if I'm just going to move forward and do just an ongoing TN until it fills up like I used to. I'm actually at the point where I'm doing some smaller TN sized pages within my 6x8 album and kind of making that feel like a junk journal / pocket pages / traveler's notebook. So I'm not sure I'm not sure that right now I'm going to go back to using a traveler's notebook unless it's going to be for a specific project. I just feel like it's a lot of different formats, and if I can include a lot of different formats and sizes within one album, then I think I might do that instead. Okay, moving on. This little organizer is from Cropper Hopper, and they come in packs of 3, and they're really super handy, and I'm using this one for PlannerCon. So here, let me rest it here. So it's got a large, like a 6x12 pocket at the bottom, then it has a smaller 4x6 pocket here, and like a 3x4 pocket here, and then on the other side it's a full 12x12 pocket. So you can really I use these a lot for projects that have a lot of different size things. Like if I wanted to have some full page papers in here to cut into traveler's notebook sizes, I would keep them in the back. And then I've got all my memorabilia, smaller things I want to make sure I include. These are super handy. I use them for a lot of different things. This is a work in progress. I have this bin, well, this is not a bin, this is a flower pot. And I keep scraps in it that I swear I'm gonna use and I never do. And then I'm keeping stamps in here that I'm not using frequently, but I don't want to put them away. I want to still be able to access them, but they aren't the ones I'm using most frequently. But that changes. And so I'll show you where I'm keeping my most current stamps, and then I can change them out when I need to. Oh, let's move up one more. So I have my telephone, Sunshine, and then I've got Milton, the stapler, my 56 Bel Air Nomad, this adorable lantern that I love so much. And then I've got a couple of my recent Me albums here. So a listing project that started in 2016, volume 4, just finished volume 5. And then this here is my winter family album. So this has January, February, and March in it. And then of course, Peggy and Cap and my beautiful record player, Lucy. Speaking of record player, here are all of my records. I just decided to keep them here and use up a space in this cubby because there really isn't another place. And since I have my record player in here, it only makes sense to not have these in the family room or anything. All right, this shelf here has my 2 2017 albums when I was doing 12 by 12 Project Life. And then this is an unfinished project. This is a page I'm gonna eventually do, several pages from prom of last year. So this, I've got all the papers. I just never did the page. This box holds all of my older Reset Girl stickers and printables. So I can always refer back to this bin when I'm working on TRG stuff. Here are all of my larger alphabets and embellishments that I can't really fit in other places. So I've got these rings of enamel dots and epoxy stickers and shapes from Illustrated Faith that I keep right here in the front so that I can get to them easily. And then same thing with all of the shapes. And then I've got some older alphas back here. I don't come here very often because I have like everything that's back here is kind of stuff that doesn't get used terribly often because I have stuff that I use really often front and center. And so these are my larger alphas, and I keep my thickers mostly in, I'm gonna try to do this one-handed without it falling, in 12 by 12, okay, let's try this angle. 12 by 12 page protectors that were sewn in half and then folded in half. And then there's like thickers front and back. You can't really see them, but you get the idea. So taller sticker sets that I don't use too often. This is craziness. This is office supplies, so don't even, and then back there is like, don't look there either. And then some empty binders. When I was gonna continue doing 12 by 12 Project Life, I kind of had always just grabbed albums if I saw them on sale, just so that I had a couple for the coming year. And I don't have any plans for these 2 albums, but that's okay for now. And then I just have an extra binder of binder paper for kids, an extra 8.5 by 11 binder there. And then this like trapper keeper type thing holds some older supplies for hand lettering. And then back here I have empty plastic organizers. These, I have the flat ones, and then I have the ones that I showed you a moment ago with the like different pocket sizes. And then just some older notebooks and empty 12 by 12 binders that are plastic that I've had forever and ever and ever, and I will never give them up, even though I don't have anything stored in them right now. I used to store, you know, like when you had the paper packs that came with the one full sticker page, I would punch holes in the sticker pages and then keep them in there. Okay, let's move around to this section, my printer. So I keep my printer here, and then I have Hank that still needs to be painted, but I'm just not going to paint him right now because he works perfectly right now. So I have some printer supplies in here, like I've got some tattoos and some shipping labels here. And then I'm keeping these colored iris cases of, this is like, I think, who said it? Tracy Reed said, this is kind of where her supplies go to die. And I feel like that's what this is, but not 100%. So this is like the 4th stage of where supplies go before I give them away. But you never know. They might come back out someday. And then here I'm keeping some ink cartridges and some larger doilies. Under here is where I keep my paper. So I've got all of this bin. The bottom one is all the 80-pound cover stock that I buy. If you need a link to that, it's going to be in my favorite things link, where I've got a list of all the supplies that I use. Same with the 32-pound, not cover stock, just regular printer paper that I use for like planner pages and good quality printing. And then I've got photo paper and tattoo paper, and then I've got sticker paper, and the sticker paper is also linked. They're all Amazon affiliate links. So this is 8665, and it's clear full sheet shipping labels. They're not stickers, because the sticker paper that's labeled sticker paper is way more expensive. And then, okay, so under here, sorry about the wiggle, I'm keeping some older supplies, older project life cards, and things that I'm gonna probably eventually give away because I'm not using them and they're just taking up space and I don't have a lot of space. So here is 2 more uses for these project bins. And this one I keep white scrap paper in. So like if I need to do some stamp off, or if I need to put some clear stickers on white cardstock and trim them, or if I need to mat something. So I've got larger and smaller pieces. And then this is like current cardstock that I really want to use. So like the current stuff that I'm really loving right now. And extra Felicity Jane boxes, because I have a lot of paper in there that I'm going to use for different projects. So just they hold things really well. So if you subscribe to Felicity Jane or you buy Felicity Jane stuff, do not throw away the boxes because they are perfect for storage. This little tray I found at the thrift store, and it's really perfect for product videos too. I like it. I keep both of my paper trimmers here so they're easy to get to and they stay out of the way. So here's my 12-inch one, and then I also have a 6-inch one. There is more paper under there. There's a lot of paper in here. This thing is full, and this is all paper that I am keeping to, obviously work on projects. I have a mixing bowl. I found this at Walmart. It's a 3-pack of mixing bowls, and it's my garbage can. And it's so perfect because it's really wide, and I can just be up here at my desk and just toss something down into it, and most likely it will make it. Although everything still ends up on the floor, including all the dog hair, so please don't look too closely. Okay, moving on to this bin, which I'm sure that I've shown this to you guys recently, but I'll go over it again. So this is like stage 3 of where things go. They do live here. I do come here for things. So these are all the current cards in categories. So they're either going to be categorized by color or by type. So I'm really trying to focus here and hope that you guys can just get an idea. This box is from Recollections. I got it at Michael's, and I think it's just called like tiered wooden box or something simple like that. So I keep my 4x6 cards here, not categorized, paper pads, and like loose papers, and then taller alpha stickers that I use more frequently. Lots of different things, smaller embellishments that are, like labels and sticker sheets and stuff. Same thing over here, labels and sticker sheets and word strips. And then up here are my most frequently used alpha stickers, the smaller versions. And then in here, I keep labels by color so that they are easy to find. And back here is some like texture stuff. So different kinds of clips and fabricy things and twine. And then I struggle with keeping my doilies somewhere. I just know that I need to have them somewhere. This is all washi. There's also this gigantic ring of washi tape that Asia Haywood gave me. She rocked it when she gifted me these washi samples. Oh my gosh, I love them. Okay, then here's like tier 2 of colored supplies. So these are favorites. When I went through my stuff last time, I just picked all of my favorites, and it was a small selected amount so that I could see them. And then here's enamel dots. They're easy to get to. And then here's more neutrals, and then wood shapes. Well, there you have my little stand. Oh, also, my podcast microphone is up there, out of the way. And then a gorgeous watercolor painting from Asia and a little retrohipmama stamp on a card that I did a couple of years ago. Now to the fun desktop stuff. This is a cute little mason jar tray. Wow, look at the dog hair. That I got from Alyssa. She gifted this to me. So it keeps like my favorite need to have at hand things. Clippers because I hate having hangnails, chapstick because I always need chapstick. These fun little, what are these called? Like little price tags that came on that apron from Gina. I just have kept them because they're super cute and fun to look at. And then my sticky note holder. Here is this Harbor Freight tiered rotating thing. Now, okay, you guys, it's totally crooked, and I don't know if you can see it from here. It's completely crooked because underneath where the main shaft attaches to the base, that's like the metal of this was welded and melted and made like a bump, so I couldn't get the big giant washer to lay flat. So it really bugs me to the point where I've considered like finding another solution because it bugs me so much. But it's fun to keep everything in categories. So this is stuff that belongs in categories and not by color. So florals, tags, doilies, tabs, texture and textiles. This is supposed to be like random numbers that are lost, numbers and letters and alphas and characters and stuff that are lost. And then acrylic, small, tiny acrylic pieces, mainly like symbols, like plus signs and asterisks and things like that. And then specialty specific things like a boot and a lemon and, you know, macaroons and birds. And then up here is also more icons. So these are more specific icons, faces and girls and people, very specific wordy kinds of things, buttons and flare, clips and things, hearts. And then here I have this bin that is for all the things I want to include in my my albums. This is like stuff I'm using first. I go here first. So this is stop number 1. My most recent cards. And then in here it's like all kinds of stuff. So I've got little pockets and my favorite alphas, older like printables, these cool, fun, vintagey things from Make a Pretty Life, tags, more flashcards and 4x6 things, and then smaller, like randomness. Print and pray, washi strips, some older little listing things, some while you were out things. I'm keeping these when I chop all the die cuts out of these because they're really fun for junk journals. I've got some prayer requests from Alley Scraps and some vellum and some free printables from Simple Stories and 3x8 things from Citrus Twist and Reset Girl, Honeys, and Traveler's Notebook and 6x8 pages and like smaller sticker sheets. This is like all of my absolute favorites that I'm gonna go to first. So, and then all the papers and bigger things get housed back here. So I'm always gonna go here first. And then here are my smaller digital embellishments that I obviously wanna go to first as well. And this is like not my favorite way to store things, but I'm kind of having fun with the digging process. Shauna would be so proud of me for this because I'm just like digging for stuff. And it's all kinds of stuff. It's print and pray stuff. It's Reset Girl stuff. It's Citrus Twist. It's old Ellie Studio. It's a lot of stuff. And then some larger print and pray stuff back here, labels, and a whole cup of labels. So these are just plastic Dixie cup kinds of things. All labels here. And then here I've got cameras and Beloved Society Girls because I wanted to be able to find them easy, and they are kind of taller and I just wanted to be able to find them easier. Oh, and then these come from the Flow book. These are like little beautiful moment cards. And so I want to be able to put these into my albums too. And then my main tool station is here. So this is going to have my stamp station. So I have, okay, let's start over on this one. Stamp station. I'm using this mail filer on its back. So I've turned it on its back so that the largest part is down here like the bottom. And I'm using this baby wipes little travel thing to keep baby wipes in. And then on this shelf, I have my 2 acrylic blocks that I use the most and my Stays On. And then the 3 stamps that I use the most. And it's really this date stamp that I use the absolute most, and it's a mini. So I think the size is 00, and I will have this linked in my favorite things website page. That sounded like I did not know what I was talking about, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And I flipped it on its back so that I could have these like little shelves, and it just works super, super good. And I put down here some of the, you know what this is, the shelf paper, so that it's not slippery. So that way this kind of doesn't move around a lot. And then here I've just put a piece of paper so that I can stamp off and do like testing of colors when I need to test a color and see if it matches something. This will just be my messy page, and then that way I can switch it out. And I've got it tucked just right under the box there so that it doesn't move. And then of course I have my stamp cleaner so that I can just open this up, boom, 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 stamp it off, use my baby wipes to just give it a good little clean, or I'll stamp it off here. And then this has my most used pens, pencils, tools. So these are all of my Flair pens, and then these are all my twin tone Tombow pens. And then here it's like random pencils, pens, writing instruments, X-Acto knife. I've got my little bead charm from Nudoso, and then my Beloved Society keychain. I like just being able to look at them here. I've got some more pencils back here and my Mega Date stamp, and then this Pebbles, I think this is Pebbles, yeah. This Pebbles stamp that has all the letters. So you can make whatever words and stuff. And then in this box that I was using for all of my stamps, I'm now using it as more of a tool caddy. So I have, let's see, let me get a better vantage point here. I've got this little, I don't know, you've probably seen this before, but I have this old strawberry shortcake bowl. So I keep all of my adhesives in here. This is all that I need. This is all that I ever use. My Blackwing pencil sharpener. This pencil sharpener is the bomb. And the reason why is because it's got 2 sharpeners. The first one is for sharpening the wood, and then the second one sharpens just the lead, and it is magical. And then I have whiteout and my Heidi Shine, which I've been using lately if you've been following me on Instagram. And I have this paint card, it's just a little old gift card. And then I have this bucket, and the reason why I like to use this paper bucket is because I don't like these are really heavy tools, these like the stapler and stuff, and I don't like them to clang against something like a ceramic bowl. And also I couldn't just put them inside of this because then they would fall and not really like be kept upright, and I need to be able to grab at them very easily. And it just so happens that it fit in there. So then here I keep my most used stamps in order of size. So here is a little bin of teeny tiny ones, and then some 3x4 ones that I really love to use, all of my 4x6 ones, and my favorite Felicity Jane stamps, and then my big 6x8 LE Studio stamps. And then here I am keeping the same mail filer thing, but upright, and I'm keeping just a couple of different things that I need to just keep in my brain. And then this desk has an extendable L that comes either on, you can install it on the right side or the left side. And I keep it here so that I can keep like current projects. And right now I've got these piles of personal album things that I'm working on. So these two piles right here are full page and pocket page things that I'm going to be working on, and then these are all the finished ones that I need to get inside of the album, and then these are just some random like quotes, notes, and things that need to be put away. And then here I keep my phone bed that I keep my phone resting on, and my water, obviously. And in here I have some things that I do use often, but not terribly often. So here I have all the rest of my colored ink pads with some swatches so that I know what colors I need. So these are all my Kelly Perky stamps, and eventually I'm going to get my my swatch book filled out, and this is from Elaine Davis in the Print and Pray shop at Illustrated Faith. I also have a swatch of my Flair pens and my big brush pens. That's how I keep my ink pads. And then here are all my punches. So I do have some different size circle punches and the tab punch, which I use a lot, and then these two border punches. And then I do have a punch board, which I was using for a while to punch my planner pages and my 6-ring binder pages. But it's a little clunky. You can only do one side at a time. So I don't use it a ton, but I do use it when I'm doing a lot of punching. Like I'm probably going to be doing a lot of punching when I'm putting in this pile of stuff right here, because it's going to require quite a bit of punching, so I might use the board for that. Here I keep extra photos that I did not scrap. Here I keep 12 by 12 page protectors, which I am not using. And then here is all bags and papers and like envelopes and like things for storage. And like I would use this in a page. I would back a photo with this bag or something like that. So just keep my bags all in one place. All right, guys. So that's a look at my space and how things progress and in my space. I'm really excited about how it's come along and how I've got the things stored where I need them so that they work really well for all the projects that I'm working on. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, you can leave them in the comments. See you soon. Bye.